Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your June 2020 horoscope for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I do recommend this for your rising sign, but for some of you, you may feel as though you resonate with this if you are a Cancer, Sun, or Moon as well. So, first thing starting off here is on June 3rd, we are entering into this Venus retrograde Kazemi. And so, for many of you, you may have felt this very strongly, this Venus retrograde going on in your 12th house, where this is very much about bringing these feelings and desires to the surface. And so, a lot that is hidden here in your 12th house that is coming up subconsciously, these desires, these repressed feelings that are coming to the surface here with this Venus retrograde. And so as it's coming into this Kazemi, making its conjunction with the sun, this is a major moment of this burnout of Venus, this blackout, where Venus will not be visible in the sky. And so this is a big time of working on clearing out these subconscious blocks and patterns that are going on here in your 12th house. And so big time of really looking into what is going on underneath the surface. What are these feelings and these hidden desires that are going on, that are repressed, that are hidden within yourself? So a lot of subconscious work to do here for you, Cancer, and a lot of meditating, a lot of retreating, a lot of taking some relaxation to really take the time to work through these subconscious blocks and feelings that are hidden here in your 12th house. And so a lot that is coming to the surface here with this Venus retrograde. Also, the big thing that we have experienced here since the beginning of May is this nodal switch that happened. So now we have this north node that is in your 12th house, south node in your 6th house, where this is a big time of once again working through these subconscious blocks and patterns on a subconscious level. Right, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes for you, Cancer, that many of you may or may not be aware of that is happening. For those of you who are meditating, who are picking up on these symbols and messages through your dreams, through your subconscious, you know that there is a lot of work to be done here and a lot that is coming to the surface. And so a lot of hidden work, a lot of shadow work that is going on. The universe is here working in your favor behind the scenes during this time, Cancer. So, also, for those of you with Cancer rising, we are coming into this eclipse season that is majorly affecting your 12th house as well as your first house. So this is a 3-part eclipse that we are entering into here, Cancer. For those of you with Cancer rising, big time of working on this axis of yourself and others, as well as this shadow work happening behind the scenes as well. And so the first thing about this eclipse season that we're seeing here is we're starting off with a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, right? So this is a big moment of this lunar eclipse that is in a conjunction with the south node that is happening here in your 6th house. And this is a release point that is continuing off of that new moon in Gemini that we had very recently here, that's happening in your 12th house. And so this is a major release of these 12th house energies being pulled into your 6th house. And so once again, a lot that is coming up to the surface here, as this is a major time of pulling these subconscious blocks and fears and patterns into reality where it can be seen and addressed and worked on. And so a lot that is being revealed to you, Cancer, that you may or may not have been aware of, that you were feeling, that you were desiring, that you were repressing and hiding here in your subconscious. And so a lot of messages coming up to the surface, a lot that is coming up to your attention as far as what you need to work on and improve upon in your life. Now also, moving ahead here, we have a Mercury retrograde that is happening in your 1st house. So this is majorly affecting those of you with Cancer rising, And even for some of you with Cancer Sun or Cancer Moon, you may feel this as well, where this is a big time of really these issues in terms of the way that you are expressing yourself, the way that you're coming across to others at first glance, so directly relating to your appearance. And so there can be a lot of contemplation, a lot of rethinking your outfits, your appearance, some of you doing different things with your appearance, some of you thinking of dyeing your hair, doing things differently. And many of you may have already felt this as we're starting to enter into this pre-shadow phase of the Mercury retrograde starting on June 2nd. So we're starting to come into that zone here where this is a major time of starting to change up your appearance and the way that you are approaching life, the way that you're coming off to others. And so there's going to be a lot of rethinking, a lot of revisiting in terms of the way that you want to present yourself to others, the way that you want to look as far as your appearance. There's a lot of changes that are happening here. Also on the 20th of June, we have the Sun entering into Cancer, where this is a big shift in the seasons, where we are leaving behind this Gemini season of thinking and communicating and all of this fast-paced, impulsive mental activity going on here of this curiosity, moving more into our feelings, more into connection, more into our emotions and our past, and connecting back to home and family. And of course, this is the start of summer. So we are moving out of this transitional phase of Gemini, which is pulling us out of spring into summer, and finally entering into this summer season officially with this Sun in Cancer, where this is a big time of connecting to home, to family, to really taking a look at your past, taking a look at emotional connections. And this is you, Cancer. This is putting a spotlight on your first house. So big time in terms of your appearance, the way that you are coming off. Once again, a lot of changes here, Cancer, in terms of the way that you want to present yourself to the world, the way that you want your appearance, your outfit, the way that you come off. Very much a different appearance that you are reconsidering here in terms of the way that you want to look and appear to others. So a lot going on here in your first house of identity and appearance. And also, with this is starting you on a new path, a new journey to do something different here, as this is the Sun lighting up the starting point of your entire life path for those of you with Cancer rising. And for some of you, you are feeling much more confident, much more expressive here with this Sun lighting up your first house. Of course, the Sun is exalted in the first house. So this is a big shining moment for those of you with Cancer rising, for really starting to express yourself, really starting to put yourself out there. And a lot of this is coming from this internal subconscious work with these patterns and blocks going on back in that 12th house of Gemini once again. Now, continuing into this change and this way that you want to express yourself and come off, after going through this revisiting and rethinking of the way that you want to appear, this new moon solar eclipse in Cancer on the 21st is a big moment of giving you this opportunity to really express yourself, to put yourself out there, to appear in a different way. So this is giving you a brand new shift in terms of the way that you are appearing and presenting and projecting yourself to others and the world around you. So big shift in terms of how you want your identity to look, how you want to appear, how you want to come off to others. Once again, some of you making some very different changes here. Some of you changing outfits, changing your personality altogether, changing your hair color. There's lots of things that you can do here, Cancer, that is very much encouraged that you are thinking and considering to do here in terms of changing your identity. And one of the big things here about this solar eclipse is that this is a blackout of the sun, right? So this is a change that you can't necessarily see. You can't see the outcome. This is really a new risk, a new chance to do something different here with this solar eclipse. And of course, this is a solar eclipse that will be in a conjunction with the North Node in Gemini. So once again, pulling these subconscious desires and feelings to the surface. And so for some of you, there are these subconscious desires to change and do something different that you are finally applying to your life. And so really addressing these very subtle hidden desires and feelings and bringing this up to the surface, creating these changes in your identity. Now, on the 23rd, there is a Neptune retrograde, and this is Neptune in those last degrees of Pisces. Remember that we talked a lot about how Neptune at those last degrees of Pisces is very chaotic, is very escapist energy, addictions, habits that are destructive are really coming out in those last degrees of Pisces, where we're getting more into that Pluto-Mars territory of Pisces. And so this is really has been a very chaotic moment coming into these last degrees for you, Cancer, in your 9th house, where this has been about learning and growing and gaining more knowledge, more experience, travel for some of you. There has been a lot of major disturbances in this area. And this has really been a time of fears and illusions around what you can do and experience and change and do differently and learn in this space. But really, with Neptune being here in your 9th house, it has really been a very spiritual time for you, right? A lot of insight, a lot of clarity coming from your higher self that has really come through here, as the 9th house is also connected to your belief systems and connected to this higher knowledge, this higher understanding, right? So a lot of clarity for those of you who are using this Neptune energy for your benefit that has come through here. But on the negative end, remember that we're dealing with these disturbances, these illusions, these fears, this very chaotic energy of these last degrees of Pisces. And this is coming into retrograde, where this is a big time to rethink your belief systems, to rethink your philosophy on life, your higher truth, your wisdom, your understanding, your knowledge. And so a lot that is being questioned, a lot that is being looked at and addressed through this Neptune retrograde. On the 25th, we have Venus finally coming out of retrograde. Venus is coming to a stop where it is starting to move into direct motion, coming out of this Venus retrograde that will be cleared completely here in July. But this is a big time here as Venus comes direct for you to use these creative energies that have come from this secret place in your 12th house. And so a lot of these very important energies coming to the surface for you, Cancer, of these creative energies, these influences, these insights that you have gained through your time of silence, through your time of introspection, right? So big time for those of you, if you have not meditated, if you have not had your dream journal out, have not taken the time to have some quiet time, some peace, for some of you going out in nature, right? This is very much about your connection to the higher realms. And so a lot of insight that is coming through spiritually for you, Cancer. And so moving forward, it really is a time to use this creative insight and clarity that you have gained to really push yourself forward, as Mars is here entering into your 10th house of career, of status, of reputation, of gains, of what you are striving to achieve, your goals. And so a lot that you can accomplish here with Mars entering into your 10th house, right? A lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of drive that is coming through here in terms of what you can accomplish and achieve. And so using this clarity and this insight and this spiritual wisdom that you have gained to really push yourself to the top. is a big theme here from the end of June moving forward. And remember that this is a big time in June and July and August to use this Mars energy, as Mars is stationing retrograde in September. And so, with Mars stationing retrograde in its home sign of Aries, this is a much lighter retrograde that we're coming into, as Mars will be in its dignity. But this is really a very important time to use this energy that you have to push yourself to achieve goals, to get to the position in life that you want to accomplish for yourself. So a lot of energy geared towards success, geared towards your goals, geared towards achievements, a lot that you can accomplish here, Cancer. Once again, as you are moving through these subconscious blocks and patterns that are keeping you held back from what you can achieve in this reality. And so really big time to pull yourself out of the everyday stressors, the everyday routines, of the hustle and bustle of life, of what you're working on and doing, and really taking that time for deep inner introspection and clarity in that space of silence for a lot of you. Now, I also pulled from the Black Moon Astrology deck as well as the Connolly Tarot deck for you as well for the month of June. First card starting out here is the part of fortune. So big time once again with that Mars being in your 10th house to bring in some good fortune for yourself, to increase on your accomplishments and goals. Big time, right? Through this eclipse season, as it is a big time for you to accomplish great things. And so a lot of wealth, a lot of good fortune, a lot of insight, a lot of clarity, a lot of gains that can come from this transformation that you have to go through, right? This is our challenge card here, is Pluto. And so once again, it is this time of going through this change within yourself, that solar eclipse that is happening in your first house, as well as that Mercury retrograde and Sun, putting a spotlight on who you are, on your identity, on the way that you're coming across. And so lots of major transformations to make here in terms of who you are and the way that you're going to present yourself to the world here, Cancer. And so as you're going through these changes, removing these subconscious blocks and going through this work in your life to really come out of these problems and challenges and blocks in your life and to rise, right? This Pluto energy is very much this Phoenix energy of rising from the ashes. And big time, especially as Pluto is retrograde in your 7th house, right? So a lot of changes that are going on in terms of your relationships with others, in terms of other people in your life. Also, as you're going through this major change here, that there is a big question of, are these people in your life here to help you, to serve you? With Pluto here, there is this very powerful transformation that is going on, where it is a really big time to take the advice of others, as they are here to help you heal through this process. So very big time, Cancer, of attracting people who can help you transform your life, but undergoing this big moment of transformation and change within yourself, right? So a lot, once again, that's changing in terms of your personality and change of your identity, in terms of the way that you're coming across in your whole personality. So big changes that are happening within you, Cancer. And we talked about this 10th house, where this is once again a major time to succeed and get to the top of your goals and achievements. But this is in reverse, where there is a lot here in terms of rejecting this internal knowing that is navigating and guiding you to getting to this goal and achievement. And so, are you being influenced? And something big that I saw here with Virgo as well, it's coming up for you, Cancer, is, are you being influenced by outside forces, by other people's opinions, by the world? And so this is really a time of coming into your own world and creating the world that you want for yourself. And again, coming into this space here of, are you following your intuition and your internal navigation? We have Cancer, your very own sign, as well as water in reverse. And so once again, are you rejecting your own internal feelings? And for those of you with Cancer rising, you are very intuitive. You are able to feel out intuitively and know how to navigate and how to initiate into the world, right? Cancer is this cardinal water sign of initiating through feeling. And so it's a big time of really not rejecting your own intuition and your own internal knowing. Remember that that sun and that solar eclipse and that Mercury retrograde is putting a big spotlight on you and how you can navigate in a new direction. And so big time of following your intuition, following your internal navigation to get you through this process, to get you through this experience now of transforming your life for the better, for getting to the top. That 10th house energy of Mars being there. How are we going to push to get to the top? Next card we have here is Yod. This is your destiny. This is a divine calling with this Yod here. And so it is a huge time to really strive once again to get your accomplishments and goals done here with this Mars energy going on up in your 10th house. This is a big time of leading towards destiny, leading towards your goals, leading towards your calling in life. And so for those of you who are in this space of hesitating and remaining in these blocks, remember that this is a time of working through those challenges. Because one thing to say about this Yod is that a Yod is not easy. A Yod is destiny, but a Yod is formed by two quincunxes along with a sextile. And so these quincunxes are these challenge areas, right? A quincunx is a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, a missed opportunity. And so there is something big here to say about what are these blocks and challenges that you're not understanding. Very much dealing with this 12th house energy where we have this North Node act. And so a lot of destiny that is being called in terms of looking at where your misunderstandings are, looking at where these hidden aspects of your life are, of these subconscious blocks and patterns that need to be removed to get you to move towards your goals and achievements in life. Next card we have here is Void of Course Moon. Big feeling here, Cancer, of emptiness, right? And this is very much connected to this North Node in Gemini in your 12th house, where the 12th house is dealing with isolation and seclusion. And so there is this empty feeling here where this is the universe calling for you to go within, right? We talked about that introspection where you find what you need to fill up this emptiness and this missing piece of the puzzle within yourself. And so once again, taking that quiet time, taking that time to go inward, to seek out this introspection and clarity to help you to fill in the missing pieces. And next card we have here, look at this Jupiter, where once again, going back to that part of fortune and going back to Mars being up in your 10th house, this is a big time where you can bring abundance in your life. A big time where you can grow and receive lots of gains in your life. And so the big question here is, are we going to remove the block so that you can have the reality that you want. And once again, this 11th house in reverse. For many of you, your blocks are your friends, are the people around you, are the influences going on outside of you, the world. And so, once again, are there outside influences that are swaying you from achieving your goals? This is a big thing to look at for you, Cancer, is are these people in your life serving you to get to your goals and accomplishments, right? And this is the second card here that we saw dealing with those goals and accomplishments that is here in reverse, right? So we have that 10th house in reverse, and now we have the 11th house in reverse, where are you denying the accomplishments and achievements and gains that the universe has for you? Because we saw this part of fortune, we saw the destiny card, we saw Jupiter. There's all of these opportunities to grow and expand and bring gains and accomplishments and achievements into your life. And so big time of, once again, looking at what are the distractions, what are the blocks, what are the obstacles, what are the people in your life? Are they influencing you? Are they distracting you? Are they holding you back? And so big time to evaluate your friends and the people that you are connecting to. Last card here from the Black Moon Astrology deck is Saturn. This is your time to step into your role and responsibility, your destiny, your purpose, right? Saturn is this planet dealing with the truth of the reality, the truth of discipline and rules and boundaries in this concrete reality that we live in. And so big time to rise to the occasion, to step into your role and position, and to understand the role that you are meant to play here. And so big reality check that is coming for a lot of you as Mars is coming into your 10th house of really understanding what is your role to play here. What is the position that you want to accomplish? And so stepping into that responsibility, playing that role is a big part of your life now, Cancer. First card from the Connolly Tarot deck is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We're out of balance, we're out of sync, and remember that we had that void of course moon in reverse where there's something missing. There is something that is not here that needs to be here. And so we need to find this balance. We need to find this missing piece to the puzzle and really bring things back into perspective in our lives, Cancer. It's a big time of really, once again, finding this deep introspection and clarity. And we do have the moon here in reverse, where it really is a big time to tap into your inner feelings and to really find that insight and clarity and wisdom within yourself, deep introspection, Cancer, to really bring things back into balance and harmony. And speaking of the authority and role that you are meant to play with Saturn, we have the Emperor in reverse. Are you rejecting your role? We also have the King of Swords here. And so are you rejecting this ability to master yourself, to climb to the highest achievement in your life? And look at this. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. Are you missing out on a celebration, on an accomplishment, on an achievement? Ace of Pentacles also in reverse. Cancer, Cancer, we have big accomplishments that you can achieve here. And so don't miss out on these opportunities and these achievements that you can have for yourself. Last card is the Nine of Wands. And so in order to enter into this new chapter for yourself, you must let go of the old. And this is where this transformation process that we discussed earlier is coming in for you, Cancer, especially for those of you with Cancer rising, as you're having this North Node happening in your 10th house, where there's a lot that is coming to the surface. in terms of these subconscious blocks and patterns that need to be resolved, need to be addressed. A lot of closure and a lot of releasing and letting go needs to take place here. So big accomplishments for you, Cancer, that you can achieve if you are willing to work through these blocks and patterns that are holding you back from getting to the top. That was your horoscope for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising for June 2020. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. And I want to thank you all once again so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.